All right, today's gospel reading is from Matthew chapter 5, verses 14 through 19. As always, I'll be doing the explanation according to the Blessed Theophylact, who is an archbishop from the Ohrid region of Bulgaria from the 11th century. 14. Ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid. Explanation there. First, he calls them salt and then light. He who reproves what is done in secret is light. For whatsoever doth make manifest is light, as Paul says in Ephesians 5:13. The apostles did not enlighten one nation, but the whole world. He teaches them to struggle and to be strict in living a virtuous life, for they will be in view of all. Do not imagine, he says, that you will be hidden away in some corner, for you will be most visible. See to it, then, that you live blamelessly, lest you become a stumbling block for others. Verse 15, neither do men light a lamp and put it under a bushel, but on a lampstand, and it giveth light unto all that are in the house. Explanation there. Christ says, it is I who have kindled the light in you, for it is for you to labor zealously, so that you do not extinguish that grace. In this way, the brightness of your life will shine upon others. He says, therefore, in verse 16, let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father who is in heaven. Explanation there. He did not say you must display your virtue, for that is not good, but rather he said only, let it shine, so that even your enemies will marvel and glorify not you, but your Father. If we practice virtue, we must practice it for the glory of God, and not for our own glory. In verse 17, think not that I come to abolish the law or the prophets. I am not come to abolish, but to fulfill. Explanation there. He was about to introduce new laws, yet he did not want them to think that he was opposed to God. Therefore, he says, anticipating the suspicion that many would have, I have not come to abolish the law, but rather to fulfill it. How did he fulfill it? First, he did everything which the prophets had foretold concerning him, which is why the evangelist often says, so that what was spoken by the prophet might be fulfilled. He also fulfilled every commandment of the law, for he did no sin, neither was any guile found in his mouth. As Paul also said, Peter said in 1 Peter 2nd chapter, verse 22. And he fulfilled and completed the law in yet another way. Whatever the law had sketched in outline, Christ fully painted in. The law said, do not murder, but Christ said, neither be angry without a cause. So too, the painter does not destroy the sketch, but rather completes it. In verse 18, for amen I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass away, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law till all be accomplished. And the explanation there. The amen is an assurance, meaning, yes, truly I say unto you. He indicates here that the world passes away and undergoes a change in form. He is saying there that while the universe subsists, not the least letter of the law will pass away. Some say that the jot, i.e. the Greek letter iota, and the tittle, the accent mark, signify the 10 commandments of the law. In the Greek system of numerals, an iota followed by an accent indicates the number 10. Others say that they indicate the cross, for the iota is the upright beam of the cross and the accent the transverse beam. Christ is saying, therefore, that everything that was spoken concerning the cross will be fulfilled. And in verse 19, whosoever, therefore, shall disregard one of these least commandments, and shall teach men so, he shall be called least in the kingdom of heaven. But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. And the explanation there, the least commandments are those which he himself is about to give, not those of the law of Moses. He calls them least out of humility to instruct you, O reader, to have moderate thoughts of yourself as you give your teachings. He who shall be called least in the kingdom of heaven means he who will be last in the resurrection and will be cast into Gehenna. For such a one shall not enter the kingdom of heaven, far from it. By kingdom, understand the resurrection. For first, Christ says, whosoever shall do, and then, and shall teach. For how can I guide another along a road that I have not myself traveled? By the same token, if I practice the commandments, but do not teach them, my reward is not so great. There can even be condemnation, if I do not teach because of spite or sloth.